Netflix just made it official. And this is the kind of update that changes the whole game. Because Sandokan isn't coming soon anymore. It now has a real US Netflix date. January 19th, 2026. In this video, I'm breaking down what that official Netflix US listing actually means, what it does not mean, and the exact signals to watch in the first week to know if this becomes a real breakout moment for Jaan Yaman, or just a quiet release that only the core fandom notices. And if you like clean updates with zero drama, just real signals and smart breakdowns, subscribe now because the next 2 weeks are going to be very telling. So let's get into it. First, let's be very clear about the headline. This isn't a random fan page saying, "I heard it's coming." This isn't a blurry screenshot from somebody's account. This is Netflix US having Sandokan on its January slate with a real date attached. January 19th, 2026. That one detail matters, because there are levels to streaming news. There's rumor level. There's industry talk. There's it appeared in search. And then there's the step that actually counts. It's on the official schedule with an official day. That's why people are calling this official, because it's no longer a vague possibility. It's now an availability event. Now, does official mean Netflix will push it hard? Not automatically. But it does mean something very important. The US market can finally access it like normal viewers, not like hardcore fans chasing workarounds. And that's where the real story begins. Because if you want to understand why this matters for Jaan Yaman, you have to understand what Netflix US actually represents. Netflix US is not just another country. It's the biggest amplifier. It's where shows can get clipped into memes overnight. It's where English-language commentary channels jump on a title if it looks interesting. It's where discovery is fast and brutal. And most importantly, it's where a show can escape its fandom bubble. A lot of series have loyal fans in Europe or in specific regions. But the moment US Netflix gets involved, you find out if the story works for casual viewers too. So this US listing isn't just a date. It's a test. Now let's talk about Sandokan itself, and why it was always built for a bigger stage than a normal TV release. Sandokan at its core is an adventure brand. It's pirates. It's legend. It's danger. It's romance. Kill. That matters because global audiences respond to genre. An adventure travels. A romantic comedy can be amazing, but it's sometimes cultural. A local drama can be powerful, but it might be specific. But adventure is almost universal. That's why streaming platforms love it. And that's why Sandokan on paper is one of the most export-friendly projects in Jaan Yaman's career. Has a built-in hook you can explain in one sentence. A legendary pirate hero. A dangerous world. Big conflict. High stakes. That's the kind of show a casual Netflix viewer might click on without knowing anything about Turkish stars, Italian TV, or fandom history. And when you combine that with Jaan Yaman's existing international fanbase, you get a very interesting situation. You get a show that already has guaranteed attention, but also has the potential to pull brand new viewers. That's the dream scenario. But here's the part people misunderstand. A Netflix US date does not automatically equal a Netflix US push. Netflix releases a lot of titles. Some get banners and massive trailers. Some get quietly added and disappear. So the real question is not, is it official? The real question is, how will Netflix treat it? And the answer is going to show up in signals. So let's talk about what you should watch in the first week, because this is where we separate hype from real momentum. Signal number 1, placement. The moment Sandokan drops, open Netflix and ask one simple question. Do they put it in your face? If you see it on the homepage banner, or in a big top row, that's a strong push. If you see it in new releases, but not much else, that's a medium push. If you have to search the title just to find it, that's minimal push. And yes, this differs from account to account. Netflix personalizes. But when a title is truly being pushed, you'll hear the same story from many viewers. Netflix is promoting it everywhere. That's the first signal. Signal number 2. Top 10 presence. In the US, Netflix Top 10 is a huge visibility engine. If Sandokan enters the top 10 TV shows in the US, even briefly, that changes the story. Because top 10 is where casual viewers get curious. They don't know the actor. They don't know the background. They just see top 10 and click. That's why even a short top 10 run can create a second wave of viewers beyond the core fanbase. So if Sandokan hits US top 10, that is one of the cleanest breakout signals possible. Signal number 3. The trailer and clip ecosystem. Netflix does something very simple when it believes in a title. Gives you assets. You'll see multiple trailer versions, clips, and promotional previews. You'll see social media posts from Netflix accounts. You'll see a clear marketing rhythm. If you get one small trailer and silence, that tells you Netflix is not investing heavily. So watch Netflix's own behavior. Do they post it? Do they clip it? Do they highlight it? Signal number 4. Language and accessibility. This is underrated, but it matters. For a show to go mainstream in the US, it needs friction to be low. Subtitles need to be available and clean. Dubs, if they exist, increase reach. The description needs to be clear. The thumbnail needs to match the genre. If Netflix makes Sandokan easy to watch and easy to understand, more casual viewers will stay. If there's friction, confusing labeling, weak subtitles, poor thumbnails, the drop can underperform even if the show is strong. Signal number 5. What happens after day 1? This is where most people get fooled. A lot of shows spike on day 1 because fans show up instantly. That's not the real test. The real test is, does it hold? Does it stay visible for a week? Do people keep talking about it after the first day? If it drops hard after day 1, it means it didn't convert beyond the core audience. If it sustains, it means casual viewers join the party. And that's the difference between fan-powered moment and platform-powered momentum. Now let's make this even more practical. Here's a clean, real-world watch list for the first 72 hours after January 19th. Number 1. Check the homepage placement. Number 2. Check if it's in top 10 US. Number 3. Check if Netflix social accounts post about it. Number 4. Check if YouTube channels and non-fan viewers start reacting to it. Number 5. Check if mainstream entertainment pages mention it. Because when a show is truly breaking out, it escapes its original circles. It becomes a general conversation topic, not just a fandom topic. Now let's be honest about what could happen. There are 3 possible scenarios. Scenario A. Netflix pushes it hard. In that scenario, Sandokan gets homepage placement, social posts, and top 10 visibility. This is the breakout attempt scenario. If this happens, Jaan Yaman's global positioning gets a big upgrade because US Netflix visibility is like a badge. Changes how people frame him. He stops being a star with international fans. He becomes a global streaming lead. And that framing matters in the entertainment industry. Scenario B. Netflix releases it with a medium push. In that scenario, it appears in new releases and gets some visibility but not an aggressive banner. It might still hit top 10 briefly if fans and curiosity combine. This is still a win because availability itself is huge. But the conversation will be more niche, more fandom-driven. Scenario C. Quiet drop. In that scenario it arrives but Netflix doesn't promote it much. That doesn't mean the show is bad. It just means Netflix doesn't view it as a major US event. And if that happens, the strategy shifts. The fandom and organic word of mouth matter more. Now, before anyone gets defensive, let me say this. Even a quiet US drop is still important. Because Netflix US availability is not a small thing. It means the show is now discoverable by people who were previously blocked or restricted by region. It means more reactions, more edits, more discussion, even if Netflix marketing is modest. And it means Jaan Yaman's work is now positioned inside the biggest streaming ecosystem in the world. That alone is a career signal. Now, I want to connect this to something bigger because this is not happening in a vacuum. January 2026 is shaping up to be a very strategic month for Jaan Yaman. You have El Turco landing in Spain. You have Sandokan landing in the US. That's not random. That's two different gateways. Spain is a gateway market for European momentum and Spanish-language visibility. The US is the gateway for global mainstream attention. And the reason this matters is because global careers aren't built by one hit. They're built by pattern. One big release is exciting. Two big releases across different markets. That starts to look like momentum. And momentum changes everything. Changes how casting directors view you. Changes how platforms value you. Changes how media frames you. Now let's talk about the fan factor. Because yes, the fandom matters. When Sandokan hits Netflix US, the existing fanbase can influence the first week signal strongly. Here's how, without being cringe and without forcing anything. The biggest thing is simply, watch early. Netflix cares about early engagement. The first 24 to 72 hours tell the algorithm what to do. If a lot of people start it and finish it, Netflix learns. This keeps attention. If people start it and abandon it, Netflix learns. This is not sticky. So if you want Sandokan to look strong, the simple strategy is, watch it, finish it, and if you like it, recommend it. That's it. No spam. No weird campaigns. Just real viewing behavior. Also, if you're someone who makes content, clips and short reactions help a lot. Because for US audiences, discovery often happens outside Netflix first. They see a clip on TikTok or YouTube. They see one scene. Then they go, wait, what is this? That's how a title can build a second wave. Now I want to address something important. The official word. People sometimes hear official and assume guaranteed success. Well, official just means the release is real. Success depends on conversion. Conversion means, do non-fans actually enjoy it? So here's the simplest question that will decide Sandokan's US story. Does the show hook someone who has never heard of Jaan Yaman? If yes, you get real crossover momentum. If no, it stays more fandom-centered. And that is the cleanest way to think about it. Now let's make a prediction, not with hype but with logic. Sandokan has multiple elements that help conversion. It has genre clarity, adventure. It has scale, big world, big conflict. It has a lead with a strong presence, Jaan Yaman. And it has international appeal built into the concept. So the potential is real. But the unknown is how Netflix will package it. Because packaging matters. Your thumbnail matters. Your trailer matters. Your description matters. Netflix can make a great show look boring if it packages it wrong. So again, watch the signals. Now, let me give you one more insider-style sign to watch that people rarely mention. Search behavior. When a title is being pushed, Netflix search starts recommending it sooner. You type Saw and it jumps up. You type San and it's right there. If Netflix's internal recommendation starts surfacing it aggressively, that means they want more clicks. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, okay, but what should I expect on launch day? Here's what I would do, personally, if I wanted to track this like an industry watcher. On January 19th, I'd check Netflix US early. I'd screenshot the homepage placement. I'd check top 10 categories later that evening. I'd check Netflix social accounts for posts. And I'd watch what happens on day 2 because day 2 is where real retention shows up. If it's still visible on day 2 and day 3, that's a strong sign. Now before we end, I want to bring this back to the channel's vibe. This isn't about drama. This isn't about overhyping. This is about clean signals. Sandokan being officially scheduled for Netflix US on January 19th is a real update. It's a real step forward in availability and visibility. And it sets up a very interesting question for 2026. Is this the moment Jaan Yaman becomes a truly mainstream global streaming lead? Or does he remain a powerful international star with a strong fanbase but limited US conversion? We're going to find out soon. So here's what I want you to do. Comment your country and tell me. Are you watching Sandokan the moment it drops? Or are you waiting to see the buzz first? And if you want, answer this too. Do you think Sandokan's genre is the best possible global vehicle for Jaan Yaman? Yes or no? Because if it hits, this could be the cleanest global breakout attempt we've seen in a while. And either way, I'll be tracking it with real signals, not noise. If you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe for more clean updates and smart tracking. No gossip, no drama, just the real story behind the rollout. I'll see you in the next one.